Before dawn, he used to go to the Emperor Vespasian, for he also used the nights, then to the duty assigned to him. Having returned home, he would allot the rest of his time to studies. Often, after food, which, after the custom of his forefathers during the day, was light and easy on the stomach, in summertime, if there was any free time, he would lie in the sun, a book would be read, he would make notes and take extracts from it. For he read nothing which he would not make extracts from. Indeed, he used to say that no book was so bad that it was not useful in some part. After sunbathing, he generally bathed in cold water, then had a snack, and slept for a very short time. Soon afterwards, as if it were on another day, he would study till dinner time. Over dinner, a book would be read, notes taken, and hastily indeed. Well, let's have a look at what's going on here. We begin with this phrase, right? He used to go to the Emperor Vespasian before dawn. The phrase ante lucem, telling us when it happens, is front-loaded for emphasis. It sets the tone immediately with the idea of extreme discipline and early rising. It's a kind of temporal framing showing how his day begins. And the verb that goes with this, ebat, is in the imperfect tense, which tells us about a habitual diligence. It reinforces the routine. He didn't just do this once, but he always used to do it and carried on doing it. And then we get the title as well, right? Who's he going to see? We go to see Vespasianum Imperatorem, the Emperor Vespasian. This adds some weight, associating Pliny's efforts with imperial duty. Following on after that then, we have a bit more information saying that he also used to use the nights. Okay, so this bit in brackets. It's a bit of an aside. It gives us a more informal conversational tone, making it feel personal and authentic. And it also flatters both Pliny the Elder and Vespasian, both too committed to waste time sleeping. The phrase noctibus utebatur, this bit here, uses the deponent verb uti to express practical engagement with time and in a reflection of Roman values of industria. Next up then, we have that he used to go to the duty assigned to him, this phrase being quite concise and almost formulaic. The passive construction of sibi delegatum emphasises that this duty was entrusted to him. There's a sense of responsibility and service. And the word officium as well is loaded. This isn't just a task, but a moral or civic duty. After that, when he returned home, he gave the rest of his time to study. The word order here in the phrase reliquum tempus studius dabat, so this bit here, draws attention to how Pliny uses even his remaining time for study. Right, the structure emphasises a disciplined rhythm with the verb dabat at the end of the sentence, also in the imperfect tense, again showing habit. And the word reliquum, right, the remaining time, suggests that no time's wasted. Even leftover time was put to good use. Now then, we get a glimpse into his afternoon, okay? We get a brief explanatory clause offering a subtle observation on traditional Roman values, okay? So this bit's down here, what's he doing? It compares the light lunch that he has to the old-fashioned habits of his ancestors. If we look at the word choice as well, right, we have levis et facilis. So it's light, it's easy on the stomach. It presents Pliny's lifestyle as modest and restrained. It contrasts sharply with indulgent feasting, elsewhere in Roman society. It's a subtle moral judgment. If you keep that in mind when you think about the Messalina text, okay, think how Pliny's uncle here is quite restrained. The characters in Messalina, quite the opposite. Okay, then we get quite a packed bit coming up here with quite a lot in it. So si quid otierat jacebat in sole, liber legebatur ad notabat exerpebatque. So this bit down here. First, we have the conditional si quid oti erat, suggests that free time was rare, but even when it did appear, it was filled with study. And then the rest of it is packed with stylistic features. We have a tricolon of actions, right? Legebatur, ad notabat, exerpebat. So 3 actions, building the energy. Notice in between them there's some asyndeton, so no conjunctions, which speeds up the rhythm. It shows efficiency. There's also a juxtaposition of passive and active verbs. So legebatur, passive. Then we have, legebatur, passive, the book was read. Then we shift to ad notabat and exerpebatque, both active verbs, showing that while others read, Pliny is actively engaged. Also, as well, we've got some alliteration, right? The L's and the B's. Liber legebatur gives quite a flowing rhythm. It reinforces the routine nature of his scholarly practice. So quite a lot jam-packed into that bit. Then it tells us that he read nothing without making notes. Right? There's a strong double negative here. We have nihil paired with non straight after it. It intensifies the emphasis on his productivity. The sentence is quite balanced, which makes it memorable, right, and morally pointed. Then next up we have this other double negative as well, straight after it, where he talks about he used to say that no book was so bad that it was not useful in some parts. So we have nullum librum paired up with not useful in some parts. The structure that we have here, we've got a bit of an indirect speech with tam and ut showing as a result clause. But even a bad book is useful, a sentiment that reflects Pliny's practicality and his intellectual humility. We've got the phrase aliqua parte, so in some part, reinforces his methodical approach. He looks for value even in the smallest of fragments. And then when he moves on, we have the phrase post solem, which I think quite neatly divides up the day for us. Right, we started up here with ante lucem. Now we're on post solem, so this temporal marker. We have the bit where Pliny takes a bath in cold water, aqua frigidia, which implies austerity and self-discipline, right? The fact that it's in cold water rather than just he takes a bath gives us an insight into his character. And again, we've got some more asyndeton going on with gustabat, domiebatque. These two verbs go straight next to each other in the sentence. An action follows an action immediately without delay. And also look at the emphasis or the emphatic position of minimum. Okay, he slept for a very short time. Placed at the end, it's a superlative. It underscores how little he allowed himself to sleep because his studying is so important and his work is also so important. Then comes quite a nice image. Mox quasi alio die studiebat in cena tempus. So soon, as if it were a new day, he would study until dinner. This phrase, quasi alio die, this one here, is metaphorical, right? His schedule was so intense, each part of the day was like its own working day. We have the imperfect tense studebat to show again this action is habitual, and the structure presents his time as partitioned and productive. And then after that, we have some more passive verbs going on, right? We have legebatur, ad notabatur. Okay, they've reinforced this sense of routine. And then it finishes off with et quidem cursem to tell us that he did it hastily or quickly indeed. Now, this is almost an afterthought in the story. The adverb cursem, quickly, makes it clear for us that this wasn't a leisurely task, but even at dinner, Pliny stays sharp. He's working very quickly and productively. Now, if we take a look at this whole passage, there's a deliberate rhythm to it. We get repeated imperfect tenses, the predictable structure of the time markers, so ante lucem, post solem, in caena tempus, they all contribute to the impression of a man whose entire day is governed by discipline. And what do we learn about Pliny the Elder from this passage? Well, he's presented as someone who lives with absolute discipline. He rises early, uses every moment of the day productively, and even divides his time with an almost mathematical precision. His meals are light and traditional, his rest is brief, but his study is constant. He reads widely, he finds value in every book, and never reads without noting something useful. And even during meals or in rare moments of leisure, he's engaged in scholarly activity. So, in short, Pliny the Elder comes across as the model of what a Roman should be: serious, purposeful, and intellectually tireless.